Welcome. We're back. Another day, new week, first trading day of the month in August. Bitcoin just kicking it off. All right, it's pulled back for 3 days now after going up for, let's see if I can do this. Went up for like, I think 10 days in a row or something. Now it's pulled back for about 3, so can't be surprised there. It did kind of have a little bit of a fake out. It's been in this range since really May 19th. It tried to break above it, but never really got any confirmation. And now it's kind of back within the range. But yeah, other cryptos have been doing pretty well. The Dogecoin trade is still up about 9%. Hasn't really moved much. The Atom trade is up 23% since the entry. The Chainlink trade hit the first target for a 41% gain. And currently, since the entry, this trade is up 58%. I think this was alerted about 2 weeks ago or something. So it's already up 58%, which is really good. We'll see if we can hit the second target for 73%. It's only about 9% away from that. And then finally, just to finish off crypto really quickly, NU is still at the entry of the trade, so really no change there. But yeah, for the stock market, futures are currently green. S&P futures are up 0.25%. NASDAQ futures are up 0.15%. So things are looking pretty good for right now. And yeah, if we just kind of move over into the stock market, just talk about the technicals after we cover that. We'll probably talk about Clover and a couple other trades I put out today. And then finally, we'll do the ongoing tickers, and then we'll do take requests after that. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Good to be back after the weekend. But yeah, futures are green. Today was pretty interesting. The NASDAQ finished flat. The S&P finished a little bit red. The Russell 2000 small cap index finished down 0.5%, but the ARK ETF finished up 1%. So kind of all over the place for the market. The Dow Jones was down a little bit as well. It was really just kind of all over the place, you know, for a lot of different stocks. We had a pretty good morning, and then we had a pretty rough pullback in the afternoon. That was kind of like the main thing I noticed from today. But it depends on what you were trading. Not everything pulled back. So yeah, pretty interesting day. I mean, we had earnings as well again today. Let me just take a look at the earnings for this week so far. So today we had actually not the most craziest day. I think Ferrari reported today, and I don't really see any other huge ones. Simon Property as well reported. But tomorrow we have Skills, which is an ongoing trade, reporting after the close. Baba reports tomorrow, Corsair. Sun Power as well, Lyft. Nikola reports tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. And then on Wednesday we have Roku, Uber, Etsy, and Fastly, and CVS. Big day on Wednesday. Thursday we have Square, Virgin Galactic, Cloudflare, Beyond, Wayfair, Moderna. And then Friday we have DraftKings, Norwegian Cruises, Ocugen, Kronos Group, and Magna, the producers for the Fisker Ocean. So pretty interesting week for earnings. I don't think it's as big as last week, but still a really important week. Really, the rest of this month, we're going to be having a lot of small cap and mid cap earnings. In the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of large cap, especially large cap tech stock earnings, as I'm sure you're aware. But looking at the overall market, first off, we've been talking about this bearish divergence on the S&P 500 for about a week now. It confirmed today. It's only one level of negative momentum. So we'll see how this kind of develops into other things. The last time we had bearish divergence on the S&P 500, we dropped about 2% before running up way higher to new all-time highs. So we'll see what this does. Obviously, this trend is still very bullish. We're still making new all-time highs and higher lows, so not too much of a concern there. But you do have bearish divergence on the daily on both oscillators, which obviously a lot of people will be looking at as well. So we'll see how that affects this week for the NASDAQ. You still have the bearish divergence on the daily playing out, even though you hit all-time highs while it's been playing out. So that really hasn't been much. Today was a very interesting day for the NASDAQ. I believe on Friday it gapped down. So today we pretty much just opened, went to fill the gap from Friday, and then we came all the way back down to the open. So it was just kind of like it was a mission to fill the gap today for the NASDAQ, and then it went back to sleep in the afternoon. If we go to the 1 hour, you can kind of see this. Gap down on Friday, traded a little bit weird, and then today we went back up to fill that gap, and then we came right back down. So that was really all that happened today for the NASDAQ. Tesla had a huge day, especially for Tesla. It was up a pretty good amount, and then I believe it pulled back as well. The Russell 2000 was up pretty nicely at one point today, but it ended up falling from the high to the close. It fell 2%, so that was your pullback in the afternoon, as you can see over here. Pretty much just gapped up, had a first great hour, and then just pulled back the rest of the day, apart from a little bit of a bounce around, I think it was, let's see, had a little bit of a bounce around noon, and then it just kind of bled out into the close for the afternoon. And then finally, the interesting thing today was the ARK ETF, which actually was green. So pretty much all the other major indices were either flat or red, and the ARK ETF, which is not a major index, is just something I like using to see how mid-cap growth stocks are doing. This was actually up today. Let's see if it closed above the 200-day moving average. It closed like right at the 200-day moving average. It's kind of just been chopping around at it really for the past 2 weeks. So really just kind of a mixed open for August. You know, not the best seasonality for this month, but you know, each day, each week, each month in the market is unique, so you never know what can happen. Obviously, the historical trend is not super in favor for August, especially going into school and stuff for September, but you never know. We'll see what happens, especially in the past year and a half. This market has been everything but normal. So that's really it for the market. The VIX was up 7% today, nothing too crazy, still kind of relatively sideways. The 10-year note did fall a decent amount today. It was down about 4%, which is quite a bit. And then other than that, I guess Chinese stocks were up again after bleeding out pretty much in July. And that's really it. Another interesting thing, Russell 2000 futures are actually up almost 0.5%. So we'll see if that could be good for small caps in the morning, but has to hold overnight. And that's really it for the recap of the day. Let me take a look at the chat. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know, for the past, I guess, 2 weeks or whatever, streams have been pretty slow, and just what it is. I'm always just going to show up and do what I do. So for everybody supporting, thank you very much. 10-year did fall today. Wednesday's a big day for earnings. Brad thinks the market pulls back in the coming days. We shall see. And the guy says ARK has a lot of Tesla to be expected. Yeah, it definitely could be a main reason for it to be up almost 1%. Oh yeah, I didn't even announce it yet, but Maddie's bringing it up. So next Monday morning, pretty much exactly in a week, but in the morning, pretty much right at the open, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Tar Heel Blue, another streamer. And we're just going to be live trading, day trading. I've never done that ever. I've done some day streams, but I wasn't really like trading during them. I was just kind of looking at the market and sitting on cash. But we will be live trading next Monday at 9 a.m. EST. So I'll talk more about it as we get closer to it. Just letting you all know. Mark it on your calendars and be there. And yeah, the guest, I don't know how long he's been streaming for, but I've been watching streams for a few weeks now. He talks a lot about Clover, and obviously, if you've been watching my streams, you know I've been talking a lot about Clover as well. So just trying to see other people's thoughts on it. So that's how I kind of found out about him. But it's not really just going to be like a Clover stream. It's just going to be like in general, just like a day trading stream for a few hours next Monday. So it'll just be a cool special event. If you have work, call in a sick day or vacation day, skip work, it's all good. I'm just kidding. But if you can be there, it would be really cool. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, speaking of Clover, we can take a look at the chart. Now, I put out, I believe, 2 failed swing trades on Clover pretty much since June 10th when it started dumping after the pump. So yeah, 2 failed swings. Both were probably around like a 7 or 8% loss. And I said a couple weeks ago that I wasn't going to be putting out another swing on Clover unless either it went back down to 7, which it did not. Either it went above 10, which has not yet, or if the daily hidden bullish divergence confirmed, which it did today. So, and this one's been weird. If you're in the Discord, you know I've been talking about, you know, Clover still looks good from a technical standpoint. I've been saying that for so long. It's probably getting annoying at this point, but that's the thing about technicals. They're not just going to happen in 1 second. You have to give them patience, especially on a stock like this where there's so many bag holders. It definitely could take a lot of a time for the price to reverse out of a very, very rough downtrend. But finally, the MACD has been red on Clover since June 18th. Today it went back to green. Clover was actually up 1%. I think GameStop and AMC were down today, so that's kind of reversing the other meme stocks. I really hate that this is a meme stock, honestly, but to be fair, it kind of is one at this point. But yeah, the breakout, we were talking about this the last time I was streaming last Thursday night, this falling wedge idea. well, if you have it charted how I have it charted, we certainly are out of the wedge. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to go to the moon tomorrow. It just means that if the bulls decide to step up, if we start seeing some higher volume and some good price action, it's just another added effect onto the chart that can lead to a decent probability of a move up. But again, the price action always has to come in first, and for now it just hasn't yet. So very straightforward idea, you know, do the stop loss under the recent lows of this dump. And first target, I just pretty much for all the targets went for resistances. First target was the 200-day moving average. Then I went for a gap fill on the second target. And then the third target is this 1320 area, which has been both support and resistance in the past. But yeah, pretty interesting chart. Not only do you have the daily hidden bullish divergence and the wedge breakout, but a potential triple bottom at the pattern completion zone of a bullish crab. It's had hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour for a while now. That's really done nothing. It's just been going sideways. But second time I've seen a bullish crab on this chart. First time was all the way over here at all-time lows, and that, I mean, technically from that low, it went all the way up to $28. It never went lower than the PCZ, really ever. I mean, it's never come back down to that level. So ever since it's hit that, it's just gone higher, and then even now it still is technically a little bit higher, about $2 higher. So yeah, that's the new idea for CLOV. We'll see how it goes. I mean, again, you know, it obviously was not easy to put out swing trades in something that's been doing this. I even thought the technicals looked good on the last two ones I put out, but they didn't work out. But if you are a premium member, I think we are now 9 for 9 on trading call options in this downtrend. That is correct. From a move from 29 almost to $8, the last 9 call option ideas I've shared with premium members have been winners, and by winners I just mean they went up over 20% after the alert, which is pretty cool because I've just been trading the low time frames. You probably know about this if you've been watching the stream. So the reason I talk about Clover so much is like, yeah, I mean, I like the fundamentals. The chart has been bullish for weeks now, but nothing's happened out of it. But mainly it's just trading short-term options on it has been insanely good for the past. And I know I sound crazy saying this, but you can ask any premium members. Literally today we did it again. I think it was like 20% up at the high, or like 25% or something. It's just, I've been trading the low time frames, playing calls on them, and just getting in, getting profits, getting out. But now we're seeing again, there could be a potential for something larger than just a morning pop and then an afternoon bleed. You never know. But yeah, Clover's been good to me in calls. Not the best for me in swings so far, but we're going to try it out again. We'll see what happens. Not financial advice. Do whatever you want. I also did put out 2 other new swing ideas today. One of them was X. We've traded this a bunch before. Large cup and handle on the daily. This started back in the end of 2018, and now it's kind of handling out finally. I've been aware of this cup and handle for a while, but the handle just wasn't really developed until I looked at it again today. And the reason I looked at it was because of all the infrastructure talks going on. I believe they're voting and stuff, but you know, definitely keep an eye on that because that can affect a stock like this very easily. But yeah, I just look at the chart again, and it's looking like the handle's starting to get pretty well developed. You have some classic bullish divergence already playing out, but also hidden bullish divergence on the daily RSI. So another interesting chart, X. We've had a lot of good trades with this one before. Me and Guy and Had have both put out a lot of ideas for this one, and we'll see how this one goes. Obviously, it's a very, very large pattern. Technically, the measured move of this cup and handle is all the way up. Let's see if I can do this. The measured move of this is $55, which if we go over to the weekly, that would be your, if it did hit the measured move, that'd be like the highest level in like a decade for X. But I'm not targeting the measured move. That's a little bit too much for me in terms of like a swing trade. That would be more of like a long-term, like a really long-term idea. But you never know. So yeah, that's a new X idea. And again, if you hear me talking about the ideas and you don't know where they're coming from, join the Discord. The link's in the description, or follow me on Twitter at @ChampionVibe. It should be in like the bottom left of your screen. You can see my Twitter handle. And then the final one, which did pull back quite a bit intraday. If you were looking at this last week on stream, somebody requested it. BBIG. It's pretty interesting. You know, the daily hidden bullish divergence was almost confirmed when I put out this idea, but then the whole entire market decided to flop. and this thing pulled back like another 3% intraday, so that's kind of stalling out for right now. But there is a potential for hidden bullish divergence if the price can just start going back up. And it already hit the PCZ of a bullish Gartley, and it's in a falling wedge, and it's above this white demand line, so it's a really interesting chart. I wish there was a more clear support level here. I'm just kind of basing the stop loss off of the previous low at about $3.12. My stop loss is 4 cents under that. So hopefully this can catch some bids, as Mitch Ray would say, and we'll see how that does tomorrow. Just to continue with the ongoing trades, I only got 4 or 5 more, and then we're going to do take requests for the rest of the stream. Next up, we got Fisker. Closed under the 200-day moving average, hidden bullish divergence, stalling out. It looked a lot better in the morning, like a lot of other mid-cap growth stocks, and it just pulled back in the afternoon. I wouldn't really consider this bad that it broke the 200-day moving average, because it's still kind of right at it. Really, it's just been in this little consolidation area ever since it broke out on July 20th from this down sloping channel. So it's like, I would just like to see this make a new high in this short-term rally. But for right now, the trade's just kind of been going sideways, so not too much to talk about there. Earnings are on the 5th according to TradingView. And then another one with close earnings is Skills. Earnings literally tomorrow after the close, I believe. So I talk about this all the time. I'm not a fan of trading technicals around earnings because technicals really don't mean much with earnings. You know, earnings could override it. You could have bearish technicals be overridden by a really good earnings, and then you could have bullish technicals be overridden by really bad earnings. Like, you never know. And even sometimes you have a great earnings and then the price still drops, as we saw with a lot of large cap tech stocks last week. So I don't really touch swings when they're about type earnings. Personally, what I typically do is if I was already in before the earnings, I typically get out and then get back in after earnings, like maybe the day after, a couple days later, when things kind of settle down, and I just kind of see where we are at that point. But again, not financial advice. Do whatever you want. And we'll see how the earnings go tomorrow. You never know. It could go to the moon tomorrow. It could dump tomorrow. Just make sure you have your stop loss set. Make sure you're managing your risk, and don't be gambling, because earnings are the closest thing to gambling in the stock market. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Just gotta hope it doesn't get stopped at after hours, but you never know. Just depends on what the numbers are. Then moving on, we got BlackBerry. It really did nothing today. The hidden bullish divergence is still developing. The trade's still down a few percent. There's nothing to really update. Nothing changed from a technical standpoint. But Wish today did go up 5%, which it's had a lot of like bounces intraday for like the last week, but all of them are pretty much sold off. Like if you see on these candles, they have pretty high wicks at the top, and then they kind of come back down. Today actually bounced, and even with the market falling, it held up pretty well. So good job today for Wish. Hidden bullish divergence is now confirmed on the daily. From a technical standpoint, and I tweeted this out earlier, I mean, it looks ready. Just because it looks ready doesn't mean it's going to go up for sure. It just means that all the variables I look for are finally here for Wish. It looks like it even broke the neckline of a double bottom at around $10.30. So from a technical standpoint, it's go time. Hopefully buyers can come in. Volume is still kind of dry. But yeah, we'll see how this does. I just want to see it hold above $9.70 at this point. The trade's up 6%. Actually, it's up 7% since the entry about a couple weeks ago. So hopefully this can start actually doing something. It's been a really overcrowded name, you know, for the last month especially. So we'll see how everything goes with this one. But very nice day today, up 5%. And then finally QS, down a few percent since the entry. Still looks the same from a technical standpoint. Still looks like a double bottom at the PCZ of a bullish butterfly. As long as it holds above these two little bottoms, I mean, I think it's fine. But obviously the risk is there. It needs to break above this resistance area. Hopefully it can reclaim 25 and hold above it. So we'll see how that goes. But that's really the recap for the day. Very not straightforward day. It kind of was a weird day, especially with the pullback in the afternoon, but at the end of it all, it wasn't really too much of a change. We kind of opened up higher and then pulled back to close around the same levels. Most of the trades were pretty flat, apart from like Wish that was up 5%. But yeah, you know, August can be interesting. It just depends on how a lot of these earnings go. It depends on the Delta variant. It depends on the infrastructure bill. There's going to be more numbers that come out, I'm sure, from an economical standpoint. just a lot of different things going on. As always, that's nothing new. So we're gonna see, you know, keep watching the news, keep looking at the charts, manage your risk, and just wait for good opportunities. And not financial advice, take the opportunities as long as your risk is being managed and you're learning at the end of the day. So yeah, it's really the recap from the day. I think we pretty much covered everything. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 25 likes right now. Hit that subscribe button if you didn't already. We are really close to 2,700 subscribers. I think we're about like 14 subscribers away. So if you're not subscribed, I chart about the market, about individual stocks every single night, cryptos as well sometimes. So if you're interested in that and you want to learn how to use technical analysis, not to tell you where a stock is going to go, but to help you find good levels to maybe scale into stocks and scale out of stocks, and also just put probability into your trading, right? Because trading without technicals just lowers your probability. Technicals are not a certainty. They just help you to increase your probability alongside fundamentals and catalysts and all those other things that I know a lot of you are into. So yeah, that's really it for the day. I'm probably just gonna do take requests for the rest of the stream, maybe like half an hour, just run through a bunch of charts. Let's see. Steven says, will you alert the Monday stream in Discord? I will for sure. More on that later. I want to talk about it as we get closer to it, because I don't know if people are going to forget if I just bring it up right now. So I'll probably be talking about it like a lot on like Wednesday and Thursday night streams, which will be the final streams of the week. Futures. Yeah, they did just pull back a little bit. They're still a bit green. Cheddar Free says they just finalized the details, no voting yet. Thank you for that clarification. Brad says, for what it's worth, GameStop broke an uptrend line. It's been respecting since March 1st. We can take a look at it. We'll look at Tesla as well. Yeah. So let me start dropping these tickers into my watch list. Don't request anything that was up higher than 30% today. Don't request anything that IPO'd within the last month. And remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm going to be looking at a lot of charts there. It's literally impossible, for my opinion, to be correct on all of them. So yeah, do your own research, blah, blah, blah. Haven't looked at XRP since it got delisted from Coinbase. Well, maybe I have actually. That's probably not true, but haven't been keeping up with it, so I'll take a look. Jordan says CNBC is predicting a 15% correction, so cute a green day tomorrow. Yeah, you know, we'll see. CNBC, I think they're entertaining. I think some of their takes are a little bit heavily tailored towards just trying to bring attention, as they should be. They're a business, they're a media outlet, so that's literally their goal, to create attention. I just think that a lot of the times that they put their want for more viewers over not necessarily facts. They do tell the facts, but they just kind of, I don't know, just some of their anchors, in my opinion. I'm not going to get to it, whatever. If you're in the Discord, I've talked about it before. I like CNBC. I watch CNBC. It's just sometimes I don't want to get to it. Never mind. Let's just ignore that. Let's just skip over it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just dropping these tickers into my watch list. All right, so I'm going to start off with GameStop. So what were you talking about with GameStop? Can't find it now. China EV stocks up today on delivery numbers. Yeah, NIO, we're also going to take a look at that. Yeah, a lot of good delivery numbers came out. Pretty much all of them, I believe, were up year over year. I just looked at the tweet. I didn't really read into it, so correct me if I'm wrong. So you said GME broke an uptrending line. Oh, okay, so maybe you're looking at it like this. Let me just draw this. Maybe you're looking at it like something like this. That's what I would be thinking. So yeah, I mean, I don't think GameStop is looking too hot right now. It kind of closed cents below the low from July 15th. It could obviously easily reclaim that tomorrow. It only has to go up like what, 0.5% to reclaim that. But yeah, a little bit tough here. I'd say the resistance on GameStop is 187 and the support is 133. It's literally right in between those. So for me, it's just like a 50-50 in the short term. Maybe a little bit of like a descending broadening wedge. Maybe even a little bit of a harmonic is forming. It could be an alternate bat at the 1.1. Actually, could even be a crab eventually. I mean, this could turn into anything, so I'm not going to really chart it for right now. But yeah, it's just kind of looking weird for right now. You know, you never know what can happen, especially with this name this year. But for right now, I don't really see anything in play for GameStop to either side from a technical standpoint. But yeah. So I put Airbnb, we gotta add Facebook and FUTU. But yeah, you know, we've been talking about this falling wedge. Very, very nice breakout today. Had a really good morning, pulled a little bit in the final hours of the day. But now there's hidden bullish divergence developing. It broke out of the falling wedge back above the 200-day moving average. Next resistance is 47. If it can break that, it could run back up to 55. I think it's bullish right now as long as it, again, holds above this level, this 43 level. This is a level I keep talking about on NEO. It broke it, and then it reclaimed it last Friday. And then today, technically, it actually broke out last Friday. It broke out of the wedge and the 200-day moving average on Friday, and then today was just like your follow-through day. And even slightly higher volume today. So right now, NEO looks pretty good to me. It obviously could maybe pull a little bit before going higher. Maybe it wants to like, and again, this is just me just saying whatever. But you never know. You know, it could just keep running up. It's already had 4 green days in a row. Maybe it comes for a back test and then runs back up. Maybe it just fails. But for right now, I do think that it looks good above 43 as long as it can hold that. Another EV name, Tesla. We've been talking about this for a long, long time, this Wyckoff accumulation idea. It's not perfect, but there are a lot of different parts from the Wyckoff schematic that look pretty decent to me here. And it's making a run. You know, we had I completely forgot to talk about this, but on Friday, I did a lotto Friday. Just woke up early, decided to look for a few charts. Spent like 2 hours looking for a bunch of different charts that looked good to me on Friday. And then on Friday morning, like right at the open, I shared 4 different tickers. All 4 of them are winners within like an hour. And then the Tesla calls I shared on Friday ended up going up about 400% at their highs. And I'm not talking about premium. I shared this to everybody. It was in Twitter. It was in the regular options channel in the Discord. But I didn't really, I guess, give much of like a heads up. I just kind of sent it out there. So I guess not a lot of people might have really seen it or saw it. But it was pretty cool. And yeah, we definitely had a great move on Tesla for Friday. Today, it was up 3% as well. Did pull about halfway back down intraday. I would like to see it close above 712 eventually, but you gotta let it do what it wants. I mean, it's had 3 really good days in a row. It's okay if you pull back a couple percent, especially when the overall market was pulling back. So above 712, I think it has room back up to 780. I mean, there is quite literally no resistance between 712 and 780. I think today it must have just been overbought. Yep, it was overbought on the 1-hour RSI. The market pulled back. It was just a little bit too hot, too fast. Maybe just needs to kind of catch a breather, reset the oscillators, and then hopefully run again. But it's been consolidating since March, so I would not be surprised if it breaks this type of a range. I don't see why Tesla can't go to new all-time highs. I'm not saying it will, but if you've been in a range for literally like half a year, not literally, but like 160 days, and you break out of that range, I would say that's pretty meaningful. We saw Apple have a very, very nice move after it broke its major range for like the past 7-8 months. So yeah, Tesla's looking very interesting. This could be the final part of accumulation where it just kind of sends it. We'll see. But I've been looking at that for like literally weeks. XRP, I mean, it just put in a crazy run. It just went up 50% in about 13 days. 12 days. That's really impressive, but let's see. Kind of like a mix of a bullish Gartley and a bullish bat. Double bottomed at this 50-cent level, and now it's pushing up, but it's using the 200-day moving average as resistance. I don't know, this one's kind of looks very similar to Bitcoin on the 4-hour. Like if I just kind of put them side by side here. 4-hour. right? You can kind of just see like they were both kind of having this, let me zoom out a little more, both just kind of having this uptrend. Then Bitcoin kind of failed to break out over here, which is when XRP was here. Now they're both kind of rolling over a little bit right now. So it just kind of looks like it's following Bitcoin for right now. It just rejected the 200-day moving average. I think your major support is 65 cents, which obviously, you know, is about what, 10% lower than the current price. And then resistance, you're just your 200-day moving average. If you can break that, I think it has room back up to 92 cents. There's not much resistance until then. Just depends on if it can rally, if Bitcoin can hold up, you know, all of that. Now we got AMTX. Keep hitting that like button. We need 2 more likes at 25 likes. AMTX. I have no clue here. Also another mix of a bat and a Gartley. I guess it's just really trying to hang on to like this low from May 14th, and that was also your low from July 19th. It fell under it today, but it did close a little bit above it. I just want to see it continue to close above 864. Otherwise, I could see it headed all the way down to like $5, maybe a little bit under, to fill a gap. There's just not a lot. There's not a lot between $8 and $5 historically. So I think this is the final level that I would like to see it bounce at if it breaks this, and I think it has more room to the downside. It's not even oversold yet on the daily. The daily MACD is waning. I think this is the make or break area in my opinion. But we'll see. Earnings are coming up soon, so that could change it to either direction. Thank you for the 25 likes, by the way. It's actually been amazing. We've still been getting about 50 likes a stream, which is like the average this year. But we've been at like half of the average viewers for like the past 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, viewers are down, but likes are still up. So appreciate that very, very much for everybody who is showing up. Lucid is looking very, very choppy to me right here. I think it hit the PCZ of a bullish bat on the 1 hour. I traded this, I think, on Friday. Yeah. Day traded this on Friday morning. Like literally this was my trade. I got Lucid calls like right at around the open, and then I sold them like right up here. It was a really good trade. It was another one. I didn't share it in the Lotto Friday ideas, but it's just like a personal one I took on Friday. I shared it with premium members the night before, but it just moved so quickly at the open that I couldn't really do much besides trade it personally, because it's not easy, you know, me trying to trade something myself and then also sharing with everybody else and then giving updates on it. Sometimes I just gotta, if something's moving quickly, I just gotta kind of, you know, just trade it myself, which is kind of what happened to Lucid on Friday. I just took my profits right at the first pop. I took my profits and then kind of just did nothing for the rest of the day. And then today, where did it open up? Right over here. Also another kind of flat day. You know, there was even hidden bullish divergence. The 1 hour chart looks pretty cool, but if you kind of go higher than that, it's just really unclear to me. It's just super, super choppy. I don't see any patterns or divergence. If we look at the 4 hour, I think it's using 2432 as resistance again. That's where it topped out around this morning, and it was your resistance multiple times in the past. So I would like to see this get back above like 2450 and hold above that for me to be more confident and Lucid as like a swing. Baba. I mean, this one's just gapping everywhere. Earnings are literally tomorrow. There's no point in doing technicals in my opinion. There's just so much that can happen from like a catalyst fundamental standpoint in the short term, especially with everything that's already been going on. I'm just going to look at the levels. You know, 196 is your closest support. You can see these yellow boxes are like where it used to be resistance and support previously. 211 is your next resistance, and then you have a gap fill at around 186, and then if you break that, then you have another major support at around like the mid 160 area, which obviously is far lower than the current price, but we'll see how the earnings go. That's really it. It depends on the earnings, you know. The guy says viewers down, like sub, that's bearish divergence, maybe a little bit, we'll see. But I shared in the Discord, I was looking at my monthly subscriber chart on YouTube, or maybe it was the weekly one, and there's like literally a bullet, like a very clear bullish bat on the monthly subscribers. Like this is my monthly subscribers. like how many subscribers I've gained in a month. That was the chart I was looking at. And it started out, what, like last October? So I guess this must have been like October to, I'm trying to think here. This must have been like October to like December. And then there was like a little dip going into January. And then this must have been like mid-January, a little bit of a rise up when we had the really good Fisker trade and QS trade. And then in the middle of February, we had the growth market crash, and then just dropping. But now we came down to about an 88% retrace, and now we're kind of over here. So let's line it up. Let's see. Yeah, bullish bat pretty much on my monthly subscribers. So we'll see if we get a reaction at the current pattern completion zone. We are pretty close to 2,700 subs. So if you want to help this bullish bat play out, hit that subscribe button. Next up is Peloton. Also, if there's like a new viewer in the stream, everything I just did was probably insanely confusing. So sorry for that. I'm just making like a technical analysis joke. Peloton, it's just moving sideways. It's literally right at the 200-day moving average. I think this is very, very weird here. I think all of this is just very choppy. I would like to wait for it to break out to either direction for me to get a clearer read on this chart. You know, there definitely was a rounding bottom / a V-shaped recovery from May to the end of June. Now it's just kind of going sideways. I think there's just a lot of indecision right now for Peloton. It will be interesting to see how names like Peloton and Zoom and other stay-at-home stocks do with the rising cases currently with COVID. So you never know. Steven with the $5 tip. Let's go. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Steven. Thank you very much. First tip of the night. Steven says, thanks for Clover options. Thoughts on UWMC options? We'll take a look at them. Yeah, Clover calls yet again. It was a good time today. They didn't go insanely high, but you know, I think it was like a 20-25% move. It was pretty good. But yeah, drop some vibes in the chat for Steven. Thank you for the almost 30 likes. Thank you again, Steven, for another tip. Really appreciate it. UWMC, we're gonna take a look at it right now. Right over here. So for UWMC, I mean, it was up 3% today. It was another name that had a good morning and did not sell off in the afternoon when the mid caps and small cap indices sold off. So, you know, like UWMC and both Wish. UWMC and Wish were two names I saw this afternoon that did not pull back with a lot of other names that were hot in the morning. So it was good to see them hold their gains. I think we talked about this like last week. I still think it looks really good above 7. Obviously, that's about a 10% risk down to that next support. But it spent like literally a week back testing a breakout of a downsloping channel, and now it's starting to move higher again. The hidden bullish divergence on the daily is confirmed. I think as long as you can just hold above today's low, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's just trying to take out this high from July 21st. If it does that, next level could be around $8.30. That's your high from July 9th. Break that, then you got $8.64. It looks like Wish and UWMC look very, very similar to me. I think both of them, they held up their gains today. They had the hidden bullish divergence on the daily after a downtrend for pretty much June and July. Well, Wish did have a pretty hot streak for a couple weeks, but and now they're both starting to curl a little bit higher. So we'll see how this does. I think it looks good. Pretty close to a bullish engulfing candle today as well. Yeah, just got to hold above today's low. Volume was increased. You had the highest volume today that you've had since July 22nd, or no, July 21st. So for right now, it still looks like it's holding up pretty well to me. Thank you again for the 5, Steven. Next up, we got ONEM. Triple classic bullish divergence confirmed on the daily. Not really like a formal harmonic. Look at that. What if we look at it like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, textbook falling wedge, triple classic bullish divergence. But earnings, according to TradingView, were on Wednesday. So, I mean, wow, look at this. So right now, this is probably as primed as a chart can get, okay? It pretty much went down to this 2570 level, which was the lowest from last September. Double bottomed off of that level, and then it got back above 2766, which was support last August and resistance pretty much the first half of last year. And now it's literally right up against the supply line of this channel with the confirmed divergence, and it was just oversold on the RSI on the daily. I mean, if earnings were not on Wednesday, according to TradingView, I mean, I think I'd probably put out a swing on this. And that doesn't mean it's not going to go up. It could go up with earnings. That could even help it out even more, especially after it's been beaten down. So maybe it's already priced in, but I don't like putting out swings like literally the day before earnings. Sometimes I do it like a couple of weeks before just to give it a chance to have like a pre-earnings run or whatever it is. But I'll keep this on my watch list. I'll see what it does after earnings. Maybe it goes up 10-15% after earnings. I don't care. Then it's gonna break out. So then it looks fine to me. So I'm gonna keep it on my watch list. But yes, from a technical standpoint, it's like everything is kind of there. It's just we'll see how the earnings go. Hopefully they go well. And I'll keep it on my watch list. Next up is Corsair. I don't like it under 2950. All it has to do, I mean, it was above it at one point today, it just closed under it. So it's kind of broken like this previous support area, and it's just created a new support at 2841, which I actually guess was a support on March 5th. So never mind. Maybe I'm gonna put it in a different way. I still think it's okay, but I want to see it get above 2946. But really, it's like, I guess it could still bounce off this. For sure, though, I would not like it under 2840, like 100%. I mean, under 2840, it has room down to 2650, and then after that, like $24. And then there's a gap fill at 21. Like, there's really nothing if you break that level. This is the range you've been in since March. If you break this, I mean, I don't see anything super strong here. You kind of just went straight up, I guess, with the IPO. So this is the final level for me. It's like, this is the make or break area for Corsair. That's really it, in my opinion. Proud might be a little bit of a double top right now. Like that. I think like 238 is your closest support. That's really it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's gonna go there for sure, but I'm not too bullish on this. Unless it breaks a new all-time high, then I guess you could just use Fibonacci. The trend is really good, but what if we look at it like this? B is a little bit deep for a bearish crab, but definitely an XABCD, a bearish XABCD. Fibonacci point's a little bit off for right now. I don't know, and it even broke this demand line if you look at it like that. So it's kind of like a I don't know if a bearish dragon is a real pattern, but the dragon pattern looks something like this. Actually, I could just show you a rough version of one. If we go over here to Wish on the 4-hour, you see this where there's like a double bottom and it breaks the supply line after having like a little bit of like a head over here. You know, that's like a bullish version to me, but like the bearish version would be this, where you, instead of having a downsloping line, you have an upsloping line that you break out of to the downside, and then instead of having a double bottom, you're having a double top. It's kind of like the opposite to me, and you technically also do have bearish divergence here. So from a technical standpoint, I think it actually is a little bit bearish right now. But again, you have to remember, and Mitch Ray brings this up, bearish technicals can underperform in insanely bullish trends, which certainly CrowdStrike has been in since the COVID crash. It's pretty much all it's done is make higher highs and higher lows. So we'll see if this could be a little bit of an area where it pulls back, then maybe makes another higher low and then just goes higher again. You never know. We'll see what happens. That's really it. DraftKings. And again, I'm not saying it's gonna go down for sure. I don't know that. I'm just saying it's kind of like the opposite of what I would typically look for. which again, I can be wrong. What I don't want is like the thing runs up like 30% and then whoever requested it's like, wow, I sold it because you like, again, do whatever you want. You can make your own decisions. I'm just sharing what I see on the chart. And I think there can be an argument there, but it depends. It's just probability. DraftKings, I mean, maybe was trying to break out of this downsloping channel, kind of had a fake out earnings on Friday, I believe. It just comes down to the earnings. Your support is 47.20, and then after that 44. A little bit of a gap fill as well at 46. So if it breaks out here, I think it could retest around $53, $52.80. If it breaks that, then it has room to 60. Just multi-level area over here. That's really it. But maybe a little bit of hidden bearish divergence on the daily MACD, where it made a lower high from this high to this high with a higher high in the MACD if you line it up. Next up, we got Airbnb. Nice. I like it above 144. Yeah, above 144, I think it has room to 161. If it can't hold 144, then it could come back down to 137, which was your low from January 5th and the 4th. So just got to hold above that level. Facebook is next up. Kind of like an upsloping channel here. As long as it's within the channel, it looks fine to me. It did fill a gap today. Oh, this is really messy. That's really it. I would just look at it as like an upsloping channel. You just want to stay above the demand line, and you might have some support at 337, which was your resistance in June, and kind of your support at the end of July on the 19th and the 20th. That's really it for Facebook. FUTU. It actually bounced off of this support area, and now it's starting to look really interesting. So if you're just trading the range over here, where did that go? Okay. You're just trading, I mean, if you trade the gap fill, if you put a target at the gap fill over here, that's a 43% gain, and you get the reward to risk, and then you could even just throw a second target at the top of the range for probably 4 reward to risk. Yep. So yeah, I mean, if you go over to the 4-hour, you have a little bit of a double bottom. It broke back above the 200-day moving average. You have classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour as well, confirmed. And then on the daily, you have developing classic bullish divergence, and you bounced off of this historical support, really dating back to January, but mainly March and May. So anything above 100, I like on FUTU now. I mean, I just wanted to see some more confirmation last time we looked at it, because it was kind of having a little bit of like a fake out. But now it's looking decent again. You have a gap fill at 135, and then you have another gap fill at 157. You just got to continue holding above $100, really. So I'm actually gonna keep this on my watch list now. Maybe it has to pull back a little bit first. You never know. It was up 9% today. I don't know if there's a catalyst or whatever, but we'll see. SESN, hidden bullish divergence, almost confirmed on the daily. Maybe look at like that, like just like a downsloping channel, kind of trying to break out right here. If it can get above $4, I think it could retest like 460-ish. And it actually was classic. There is classic bullish divergence confirmed on the 4-hour as well, on the MACD and on the RSI. So I think this is the time for SESN. If it can break out here, I think it has room back up to this area. If it can't break out here, I think it could retest 354. So it looks like it's breaking out for right now, but it depends on what it does tomorrow for more confirmation. We'll see what happens. Then we got GNUS, which also has hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Recently bounced off of this demand line yet again, pretty much. And this could be a harmonic, we'll see. maybe a bat. Yeah, pretty much a bullish bat. Already bounced up the PCZ. If this can just break above the 200-day moving average, I think it can retest 188, which has been resistance before multiple times. Really, 188 to $2 is like your next resistance range. This area over here. So yeah, it looks fine to me right now as long as it just holds above this demand line. And then earnings are on the 16th according to TradingView. There we go with that. What's up, Skip T. Lou? Alright, these will, I don't know, maybe. I think these might be the final takers of the night. We'll see. Futures, they were up quite a bit when I first started streaming. Now they're pretty much just flat. So yeah, definitely a pullback there. First off, Google for the lump or the guy. Wow, I mean on the daily, this is just so impressive. There is a gap fill right over here at around 2670. But there already might be some hidden bullish divergence developing on the 4-hour. I don't even believe it. I mean, wow. So I don't know. I mean, there's an upside gap to fill in the 4-hour. There's a downside gap to fill. There's some hidden bullish divergence. Obviously, the trend is insanely bullish. I mean, it's not even really parabolic at this point. It's just kind of like nuclear, because I don't even know if you could line it up like this. Like, it just maybe kind of. Yeah, actually, it might just, yeah. So like something like that. Again, parabolas are really, there's not really like a textbook way to draw them. It just comes down to however you feel like drawing it, but that's just kind of how I look at it. Just wow. That's really it. I mean, that's just so impressive. And then of course you could just use like all these like little resistances as supports now. Kind of like that. That's really all I could try and do here after everything it's done since March. I mean, since the COVID crash low, pretty much 170% higher for Google, which is really, really good for a company that, compared to a lot of other stocks, moves relatively slow. And yeah, you are losing some momentum on the daily, but again, the 4-hour hidden bullish divergence, maybe, you never know. Nike gapped up on earnings. At this point, your 2618 Fibonacci extension is 172.64. Closest support I would kind of look at would be this little 3-candle high at 166.4. So those are the two levels I'd be watching. Apart from that, there's not much to talk about. It's just kind of going up for right now. And then Moderna, another one that's just been parabolic, and then pretty much in like July, it just kind of decided to actually just go insane. Apparently earnings are on the 5th according to TradingView. If it ever decides to just completely roll over, I would say 188 is like the strongest support area I see from these highs and kind of this low. And then a little bit of a gap fill over here at 260-ish. And then in terms of Fibonacci, I mean, I'd probably just, I mean, it's really hard to pick like a good, that's really small. I'm not even gonna use that. Maybe you could use, maybe this high to low. It's already past the 4. Like it's just going bonkers right now. I wouldn't even use Fibonacci. I'd probably just use like psychological levels, like every $5, like 350, 355, 360, and so on, I guess, as resistance. It's just like, what do you do at that point? But yeah, crazy. And you're saying the option flow has been bearish. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. It is overbought on the daily. Historically, it should pull back now that it's overbought like this. But again, it's so bullish that even if it does pull back, it can only just be a little bit, reset the RSI and then run again. You never know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I think Shadrico, sorry if I mispronounced that, says, just got the alert. Looks like I missed most of it. Did you already talk Clover? Yes, I did talk about Clover. It'll be in the timestamps, which will be, I'll tweet out the timestamps when they're live. I'll also ping everybody in the Discord when they're up. So join the Discord or follow me on Twitter, and then whenever the timestamps are up, I'll let you all know. But yeah, we can take a look at, keep hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, on the way to 2,700 subs. Help me revive the subscriber growth. We're at the PCZ of the bullish bat on subscribers, so we got to start bouncing soon. All right. AMD. And thank you, Cheddar Freeze, for dropping the Discord link in the chat. So NNDM, I have this charted recently from scanning, I guess. Pretty much a bullish cipher, trying to double bottom at the PCZ with hidden bullish divergence on the daily. I don't know when earnings are exactly for this one. I think when the earnings is like when it's like a gray color, I think TradingView doesn't know either, so definitely look that up. But I think if it can just hold 612, which was the support last December and resistance last October, if it can just hold that, I think it looks fine. There's room all the way up to the 200-day moving average at $8. You just got to hold above 6. Hidden bullish divergence is there on the daily. And yeah, we'll see what happens with NNDM. And then AMD is just a monster. I think anything above 100 is bullish. It's been in this range between 75 and 100 since like last September. It broke that range on earnings, and now it's just going nuts. Of course, it does have the ability to back test before going higher or just completely get destroyed. I don't know if a bad news comes out or whatever it is, but for right now, I think anything above 100 looks good. Obviously, there were far better times to be entering, and there's even hidden bullish divergence playing out on the daily. They are having earnings at that day. I think we're talking about NNDM, so yeah, that might be true then. Yeah, just look it up. It's usually on Google. And yeah, I think that'll be it for the stream. We got through all the takers in the chat, I believe. Sorry if I missed any, but I'll be live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST. Can't stress this enough. There's probably 2 or 3 people here that are not on the Discord. Just join the Discord. There's nothing you lose. All you can do is gain from it, and it's the best place to be. Anybody can join it. It's free. Links in the description. Cheddar Freeze just dropped the link in the chat. And it's where you could just really talk to everybody in the free trading movement. You can get a bunch of alerts. You can get a lot of educational resources, a lot of bots that are actually paid, but you get them for free. Just a lot of things in there. So join the Discord. We're close to 1,900 members. I would like to do a giveaway when we hit 2,000 members in the Discord. And yeah, I'll see you all there, and I'll be live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST. Thank you for watching the stream. Hit the like button if you did not already. Good luck trading tomorrow, and peace out.
Set this all on fire. I just wanna